Christopher Richard Rick Stein OBE is an English celebrity chef, restaurateur and television presenter. He is head chef and co-owner of Rick Stein at Bannisters at Mollymook, New South Wales, Australia, and owns 4 restaurants in Padstow, a fish and chip shop in Falmouth, Cornwall, and a fish and chip shops in Porthleven and Newquay, Cornwall. He has written a number of cookery books and has presented a number of television programs. Early years. Of German descent, Stein was born on the 4th of January 1947 in Churchill, Oxfordshire, to Eric and Dorothy Stein. Stein was educated at Wells Court, a preparatory school just outside Tewkesbury, then Wells House, the Court's bigger sister school in Malvern Wells, and then Uppingham School. He took A-levels in English, history and geography, but failed all of them. He moved to a cram school in Brighton, gaining E grades in English and history. Stein partially completed a hotel management traineeship with British Transport Hotels at its Great Western Royal Hotel in Paddington. He worked there as a chef for 6 months. Distraught by his father's suicide, at age 19 he went to Australia, where he worked as a labourer in an abattoir and as a clerk in a naval dockyard. He travelled to New Zealand and Mexico around that time to take some time out. Being on his own, he read widely, reflected on his attitude to education, and applied successfully to New College, Oxford. He earned an English degree in 1971. Shortly after that, he moved to Padstow. Career. After graduating, he converted a mobile disco in Padstow, which he had run as a student, into a quayside nightclub with his friend Johnny. It became known for its freeze-dried curries. However, the nightclub lost its license and was closed down by the police, mainly due to frequent brawls with local fishermen. The pair still had a license for a restaurant in another part of the building, so they continued with it to avert bankruptcy. Stein ran the kitchen using the experience he had gained as a commerce chef. Eventually he converted it into a small harbour-side bistro, the seafood restaurant, with his wife Jill in 1975. As of 2015, his business operates 4 restaurants, a bistro, a cafe, a seafood delicatessen, a patisserie shop, a gift shop, and a cookery school. His impact on the economy of Padstow is such that it has been nicknamed Padstein. In 2007, threats against Rick Stein's businesses were made by Cornish nationalists. In 2009, Stein made his first acquisition in the nearby village of St Merran, 3.5 miles from Padstow, taking over the Cornish Arms public house on the village's outskirts, intending to keep it as a traditional Cornish pub. In October 2009, Stein and his fiancée, the publicist Sarah Burns, opened Rick Stein at Bannisters in Mollymook, on the south coast of New South Wales, Australia. Rick said at the time of opening, "Ever since a memorable weekend eating Pambula oysters and flathead in Merimbula in the 60s, I've had the image of the clean blue sea and sweet seafood of the south coast fixed in my head, so when I was introduced to Mollymook about 6 years ago, I knew that one day I would open up a restaurant celebrating local fish and shellfish, but keeping it really simple." In November 2014, Stein and his partner Jill took over the lease of the former Claky restaurant by Porthleven's Harbour, renaming it Rick Stein. Stein has become a popular television presenter on food. After appearing on Keith Floyd's 1984 series Floyd on Fish as a guest chef, he was offered the chance to present his own series, like the travelogue style of cookery show pioneered by Floyd, on BBC television. His shows have included Rick Stein's Taste of the Sea, Fruits of the Sea, Seafood Odyssey, Fresh Food, Seafood Lover's Guide, Food Heroes, French Odyssey, Mediterranean Escapes, Far Eastern Odyssey, Rick Stein's Spain and Rick Stein's India. In the last 5 series, he set out in search of the best in the region's foods. Until 2007, Stein was often accompanied by his Jack Russell Terrier, Chalky. A book has accompanied each series, and his book English Seafood Cookery won the Glenfiddich Award for Food Book of the Year in 1989. Stein was awarded the OBE in the 2003 New Year Honours List for services to tourism in Cornwall. Personal life. Stein spends part of the year in Padstow and part in Sydney with his second wife, Sarah Stein, and her 2 children. He met her in Australia in 1997 when she was working for the publisher HarperCollins. They married on the 7th of October 2011. He has 3 sons from his first marriage to his business partner, Jill Stein, Edward, Jack, and Charles. They married in Cornwall in 1975, separated on the 21st of July 2002, and the divorce was granted on the 8th of June 2007. When Stein was 18, his father committed suicide in Cornwall after suffering from bipolar disorder. Stein's brother John teaches and researches dyslexia and neurophysiology at Oxford University, where he is a Fellow of Magdalen College, Oxford. He has a sister, Henrietta, and a half-brother, Jeremy, from his mother's first marriage. The food business built up by Stein and his former wife Jill is valued at £32 million and employs approximately 450 people in Padstow. Rick Stein is the uncle of the DJ Judge Jules. Charity work. Rick Stein is patron of the charities Padstow Youth Project, Southwest PESCA, the National Mission for Deep Sea Fishermen, the National Coast Watch Institution, the Dyslexia Research Trust, and the National Trust. Publications. English Seafood Cookery, 1988. A Beginner's Guide to Seafood, 1992. Beach to Belly, 1994. Taste of the Sea, 1995. Good Food Award Best Cookery Book, 1995 1996. Rick Stein, Fish, 10 Recipes, 1996. Fruits of the Sea, 1997. Rick Stein's Seafood Odyssey, 1999. Rick Stein's Seafood Lover's Guide, 2000. Rick Stein's Seafood, 2001. Gourmand World Cookbook Awards, 2001 winner of category Best Seafood and Fish in English, Best in the World Fish and Seafood. My Favorite Seafood Recipes, 2002. Rick Stein's Food Heroes, 2002. Rick Stein's Guide to the Food Heroes of Britain, 2003. Rick Stein's Food Heroes, Another Helping, 2004. Rick Stein's Complete Seafood winner of the James Beard Foundation Award 2005 for Cookbook of the Year. Rick Stein's Mediterranean Escapes, 2007. Rick Stein Coast to Coast, 2008. Rick Stein's Far Eastern Odyssey, 2009. My Kitchen Table, Rick Stein's 100 Fish and Seafood Recipes, 2011. Rick Stein's Spain, 2011. Rick Stein's India, 2013. Under a Mackerel Sky, a Memoir, 2013. TV, Floyd on Fish, BBC TV, 1985. Floyd on Food, BBC TV, 1986. Taste of the Sea, BBC TV, 1995. Fruits of the Sea, BBC TV, 1997. Great Railway Journeys, BBC TV, 1999. Rick Stein's Seafood Odyssey, BBC TV, 1999. Fresh Food, BBC TV, 1999. Personal Passions, BBC TV 1999. Food and Amp Drink, BBC TV, 1999. Rick Stein's Seafood Lover's Guide, BBC TV, 2000. Jacobs Creek World Food Media Awards, Silver for Best Television Food Show. Friends for Dinner, BBC TV, 2000. Rick Stein on Fishing, ITV, 2001. Rick Stein's Food Heroes, BBC TV, 2002. Rick Stein's Food Heroes, Another Helping, BBC TV, October 2003. Series 2, BBC TV, February 2004. Rick Stein's Fish Love, UK TV Fish, August 2004. Rick Stein's French Odyssey, May 2005. Betjeman and Me, Rick Stein's Story, August 2006. Rick Stein and the Japanese Ambassador, BBC 2, 2006. Rick Stein in Du Maurier Country, BBC 2, May 2007. Fishy Treats and Simple Eats, Japanese Food Network, Autumn 2007. Rick Stein's Mediterranean Escape, BBC 2, the 8th of August 2007. On the 16th of February 2009, Stein was featured in an episode of the BBC's Who Do You Think You Are? Genealogy documentary series. Rick Stein's Far Eastern Odyssey, BBC 2, July 2009. Rick Stein's Christmas Odyssey, BBC 2, December 2009. Rick Stein's Food of the Italian Opera, BBC HD, June 2010. Rick Stein's Cornish Christmas, BBC 2, December 2010. Rick Stein's Spain, BBC 2, July 2011. Rick Stein Tastes the Blues, BBC 4, November 2011. Rick Stein's India, BBC 2, June 2013. Rick Stein's German Bite, BBC 2, August 2013. Rick Stein, From Venice to Istanbul, BBC 2, August 2015. Rick Stein, Australia episode of A Cook Abroad, BBC 2, the 2nd of March 2015. Rick Stein's Taste of Shanghai, BBC 2, February 2016. Rick Stein's Long Weekends, BBC 2, May 2016. DVDs. Rick Stein's Spain, Rick Stein's French Odyssey, Rick Stein's Mediterranean Escapes. Other awards. For the restaurant, RAC, Sunday Times Taste of Britain Best Restaurant Award 1984. Decanter Magazine Restaurant of the Year 1989. The Good Hotel Guide César Award 1995. Egon Ronne Guide Restaurant of the Year 1996. Hotel and Amp Restaurant Magazine Seafood Restaurant of the Year 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001 and Amp 2003. AA Award, English Seafood Restaurant of the Year Award 2002. For the Man, the Good Food Award Television and Radio Personality 1995 1996. The England for Excellence Awards Outstanding Contribution to Tourism Award 1988 to 1998. Caterer and Hotel Keeper 1999 Chef Award, Chef of the Year The Catchy Awards. AA Guide Chefs Chef of the Year 1999 2000. Waterford Wedgwood Hospitality Award 1999. The Glenfiddich Trophy 2001. The Cornwall Tourist Award, a special award for outstanding services to Cornwall 2002. OBE, New Year's Honour 2003, for services to West Country tourism.